On today's TCE Trim, Woj retires from ESPN for the Bonnies edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with our promo code TCESGPN to score up to $1,000 bonus in cash. Underdog Fantasy promo code TCESGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That is the sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM today. Welcome, everybody, into the college basketball experience. Triple header over here tonight, baby. The season must be getting closer. And I will say, I did not see this one coming on our TCE Trim for the day. Woj retires from ESPN, and he joins the Bonnies as the general manager. Shout out to the Bonnies. Shout out to the 810. Love that program. But first, I am Moneyline Mac, a.k.a. the former video coordinator for Bob Huggins and Frank Martin. Cheers, everybody. It's Mac tonight over here at the College Experience. And joining me for Sicko's season, well, the one and only host of the College Baseball Experience, co-host of the College Basketball Experience. He's also the window-banging, drywall-hanging, LeBaron driving Noah Bieniek, a.k.a. Noah B77. Noah, do you have a Bieniek bomb for me or what?
What's going on, Mac? The Bieniek bomb or whatever was a text to you at about 10:55, and I said, well, I think we found our TCE Trim for the day.
Yeah, well, you're awake.
So, yeah, I mean, a tweet that had 4 characters in it, -30- from one at WOJ ESPN, Woj. You ever heard of this guy, Adrian Wojnarowski? It was a graphic, and it said, I grew up the son of a factory worker 2 miles from ESPN's campus and only ever dreamed of making a living as a sports writer. 37 years ago, the Hartford Courant gave me my first byline, and I never stopped chasing the thrill of it all. This craft transformed my life, but I've decided to retire from ESPN and the news industry. I understand the commitment required in my role, and it's an investment that I no longer have, or that I'm no longer driven to make. Time isn't an endless supply, and I want to spend mine in ways that are more personally meaningful. I leave with overwhelming gratitude for countless mentors and colleagues, subjects and stories, readers and viewers. No one has benefited more than me from the belief, trust, and generosity of others. The past 7 years at ESPN have been a particular privilege. I'm appreciative of the company's leadership, especially Jimmy Pitaro and Christina Douglas, for understanding and the acceptance of my decision to make a life change. After all these years reporting on everyone's teams, I'm headed back to my own. 30. So yeah, Adrian Wojnarowski is the title of the new job is general manager of St. Bonaventure Basketball.
Yeah.
Mac, you're the one that has experience on college basketball staffs. General manager, a unique term for a college basketball team.
Yeah.
I thought the head coach was kind of the general manager. They kind of are a little bit. You have a recruiting coordinator, yes, but isn't the head coach in charge of creating the roster?
Well, yes, I mean, in a way, but this has been the new position that people have moved towards, whether it's Duke, Kentucky, I think started it as well. At first, I think Duke hired the girl from Nike originally. So then Kentucky hired somebody. I don't know who's who at this point off the top of my head, but most of the Blue Bloods have them. It's basically somebody that kind of just thinks outside the box, new ideas, raise money for NIL so that you can pay for players. And I would imagine maybe he's doing some stuff with trying not salary cap, because there's no salary cap in the NIL, but something along the lines of using his connections in his time at ESPN to help raise money for St. Bonaventure. It's basically, in my opinion, with Woj going to the Bonnies, is an ambassador role. You sometimes see this with the older coaches. They'll go and be an ambassador. Woj instead, and it'll be special consultant. This one being a GM on the business side of things, and just having different connections at ESPN. I think that's kind of going to be his role. He's not going to be X and O, and he's not going to be in the coaching huddles. Hey, how are we going to guard the cross screen, down screen, or how are we going to guard the fucking ball screen this week? So he's not going to be grinding film. But I definitely think that there could be use and benefits of having a guy of Woj's stature in your program. I would hope at this point in his career, he's achieved what he needs to achieve, and he checks his ego at the door, because the Bonnies have been a hell of a program in the A-10. Mark Schmidt's done an unbelievable job over the last decade plus at that program, running it into one of the most consistent teams in that league. And they've always gotten more out of less. They always overachieve at the Bonnies. So I don't think that he's coming in there to change things up much. I just think he's gonna. Hey, I'm here to help. I love I love St. Bonaventure, and put me to work.
So you do think that there are benefits of him joining the staff. My question is, how much of a pull is Woj going to have to the teenage basketball player that wants to play a couple of years in college and probably with hopes of going to the NBA? Are they going to choose St. Bonaventure over some of the other programs with the general manager, like you mentioned?
No, they're not choosing the Bonnies over Duke, Carolina, just because Woj is there. But I think he can get creative and think outside the box. Maybe take them to another level in terms of budget, resources in the A-10 is what I think. But they're not. Everybody don't get twisted. They're not going to just start pulling in 5 stars because Woj is at the Bonnies. So it's a cute little headline. It's good publicity for a program like that. To be honest, I'll joke. Maybe Gottlieb should have gone to that role at Oklahoma State, but at least Gottlieb though played, and Gottlieb does have his dad was a coach, so that is his background in terms of Green Bay.
We're going to open up the can of worms and have a little bit of fun on the flip side of the show. But first, go over there, help us out. Subscribe, leave a like, rating, review to wherever you're listening to the college basketball experience, whether it be YouTube or on the podcast platforms, because the war against corporate gambling does not end. Most importantly, tell a friend. Word of mouth is the heartbeat of SGPN. And the college basketball experience is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. There are a ton of ways to win over on Underdog Fantasy on NFL, college football, MLB, MMA, and more. Sign up today with the promo code TCE SGPN to claim your special pick plus first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCE SGPN. And we're also brought to you by BetUS. They are available anywhere. You can BetUS in a ton of locations, including internationally. They just launched an all-new live betting experience. Use our link to sign up and get a 125% deposit bonus up on your first 3 deposits. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/betus. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/betus. Promo code SGPN so they know we sent you. SGPN's proud partner Rhythm is the #1 AI-powered sports betting platform that helps provide bettors of all levels the ability to build custom predictive betting models in seconds and get predictions for betting on money lines, spreads, totals, and props. Rhythm AI had a great NFL Week 2, 22.5% ROI on NFL spread bets, and a 44.3% return on investment on NFL moneyline bets. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. And we're back here on the college basketball experience talking about the news of like the frat joining together. This was like, I don't know. I'm not much of a comic guy, but like your Avengers, your shit. The now I'm embarrassing myself, but like the gang that teams up against Thanos with the Infinity Stones, like
Oh,
you
I know.
had you had Pete Thamel, you had Jeff Passan from MLB, Thamel with college sports, you had Adam Schefter of the NFL, you had any other big J that considers them to be in this little clique. They were all tweeting about this. They all wanted to break the news of their own and add their own little twist. Um, Dan Wetzel of Yahoo adds that at least one other major college basketball program, upon hearing the rumors of Woj's move, offered Woj a similar spot with them in lieu of trying to lure him away from St. Bonaventure and in chance of winning a national title. Mac.
You said Dan Wetzel said this?
Yeah, this is Dan Wetzel of Yahoo in his article. I mean, a general manager Woj, like, what's he going to do? Bring in an extra 5-star for a team to go and chase a national title?
No, he's I just read the Bonnie's press release and it was basically word for word. I didn't even read it before we started here. I knew what he was going to be doing with it, and then I read it. It's alumni, just different ideas outside the box. But dude, in the end, it matters where you're at. And if you're at a blue blood, you have more resources. Heck, you could be the GM right now of a blue blood, and I'm pretty sure you still could have got Cooper Flagg at Duke. So, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's the brands, the history, the tradition of these programs, and then the coaching staff, and how much NIL money you have to offer, and of course sell the NBA dream, et cetera, and all that good stuff. But no, I don't think Woj makes you into a national championship. That's just ridiculous. But I'd be interested to see who's the program that offered that. I respect him for going to the Bonnies, by the way. I mean, he went there, class of 91, giving back in his own way, I guess. Hey, it's good to, in my opinion, it's good to have college basketball in the spotlight on September 19th. Earlier than we've had more headlines with the NIL portal, just different stuff this offseason than ever. So as much as we can get more and more traffic in college basketball, the better, in my opinion, man.
Yep. And I have one more question for you. Woj goes out at the top, very top of the hill at this Scoops game, nipping at his heels the entire time with Shams. Is this a win for Team Shams?
I don't know. I don't follow the NBA.
I don't either.
I've got a couple of guys in the NBA, but I hate that league. I think it's so boring until about the playoffs. Yeah, I guess it's a win for him, but it's I mean, he'll be busy with all the load management tweets that he's got to tweet out. Shout out to Vet in the chat. So
yeah, speaking of that, dude, Adam Schefter jumping on the soapbox, like that was the other thing. Is like the clique was just like on their knees, like all hail Woj today.
That's your guy. Yeah,
Woj must have been like, oh, poor Woj. Like Adam Schefter talking about, you can't take a shower without looking at your phone screen. You can't sleep without looking at your phone. You can't eat a meal with your family without looking at. Come on, that's like one of the best jobs in the world, and you're going to talk about all these little things that anybody else would die for to have.
Go try to be an assistant coach making $50,000 a year, Schefter. Get out of here with that crap. And by the way, sports bettors do the same exact shit. They're always on their phone, checking their parlay, checking what they bet on. So Schefter always has a way of over-exaggerating. I mean, he's the same guy that wanted to cancel the NFL virtual draft because of COVID. So Schefter, I like when he reports on who's active and who's not. But when he gives his opinion in this year, out the other. I'm not a big. I don't like, honestly, man. I really don't like any of these guys, but they do work their asses off to develop those relationships, but they are a little over the top.
Go Blue, Shefty. Go Blue.
Yeah.
That's been the college basketball experience TCE Trim today. Woj, he's the new general manager over there at St. Bonaventure for the Bonnies in basketball. Should be fun.
You'll see him at media day.
Yeah. Are we going to see him on the bench?
Yeah. He'll probably be second row guy. Probably be right in the back, just taking it all in. Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, we'll be here every midweek day talking the biggest headline of the day. This one kind of overshadowed a Gonzaga Baylor, opening night game scheduled against each other. So
do that.
That one's in the queue, but we instead wanted to have some fun with this Woj news. This has been the college basketball experience. You better start thinking about yours, and we out of here.